I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make Reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, Maisie, and Joshua. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys, I'm here with Twin Tuesday. Nicole already has her video on her channel, My Reality with Nicole. Link is in the description of this video, so you can go check it out and go watch her video and subscribe to her channel. So today I am going to be changing Maya, and Maya is twinning with her cousin Oakley, and they are both going to be wearing this George baby llama print dress. It's pink with white llamas on it, and I'm going to pair it with these cute pink tights from H&M, and we're going all out with the pink today. All out with the pink. I've got this pink hairband bow thing, and then I'm going to give her these little white shoes. And I think she could probably stay in this for Valentine's Day because it's all pink, which is Valentine's Day colors. I've also got her laying on this adorable, super soft llama blanket that her Auntie Paula gave us at Christmas. It says no problema mama. So let's get started changing her. Let me just move these out of the way for a minute. I'm going to get her out of her Christmas pajamas finally. So guys, I believe it was in my last video that I told you about the whole situation with our neighbors upstairs and how we've been watching their cats and all the things we've been going through with that, and how upset I am that, you know, these people have left their cats this long. It's crazy. If you haven't watched that video, please go check it out. I believe it was my last video that I posted, which was also a Twin Tuesday video. Well, it just keeps getting better, guys. So, yesterday, when I got home from work, and Alex had the day off yesterday, so he picked me up from work. So we get home, and I had a snack, and then after I had my snack, we decided that we were going to go upstairs to check on the cats, feed them, clean the litter box, all that jazz, play with them, give them pets, give them cuddles, all the things. So we go up, and I'm trying to get the cats to play. Now, Claire, who is the older cat, she is about 9 or 10 years old from what we've been told. She was playing no problem, but we noticed that over the last few days, Patches, who is the kitten, and we had really no idea how old she was at this point. We just know that they got her at some point in 2020. And she's still a baby, like she's still a kitten. And I was pretty sure she was under the age of 1, but I didn't know like how many months exactly she is. But we noticed she was playing less and less. Whereas like before, we could really get her into playing where she would jump and leap and all this stuff. And just over the past few days, she's been playing less and less. Now, at first I thought that it was because maybe she was a little timid with Claire, because we did decide to finally let Claire out. We were going to keep them separated, but we realized that probably in the end would not be a good thing because it would just create more tension between them. So we let her out, and we really made sure to go up for the first couple of days a little more frequently just to check to make sure things were going well. And they would get into little spots here and there, but overall they seem to be doing a lot better than they were before. So, but we just thought that maybe Patches was a little nervous of Claire, because when we let Claire out, Claire kind of started to take a little bit of dominance, and she would like hiss and growl at Patches, and so Patches would kind of run away from her. And so we just thought, like, because Claire was now going after the toy, like we had one of those wands with the feather on it. It used to be Riley's toy, but because he's blind now, he can't see it, so he doesn't play with it. So we took it up to play with them, because they literally have like one little like toy ball, and they have, they have one little toy ball, and oh, okay, I thought this would fit her, but her foot is actually bigger than I thought. I'm gonna have to get a different pair of shoes. So basically, as it turns out, we just thought she was, you know, being a bit timid because Claire was sort of taking over with playing and all that. Well, then yesterday it was even worse. She wasn't playing at all, and then she started to do some really weird stuff that I have never seen a cat do before. She continuously was going, like, I call it like a chirping kind of sound. She's like, and she started to like roll around on the floor, which I was like, you know, I would try to like give her belly rubs, and I could tell she wasn't a belly rub cat. Like, she would swat me and whatever. This time she's rolling over, she's showing her belly, she's letting me pet it, and the whole time she keeps going, and then all of a sudden her butt goes up in the air, and her hind legs are like kind of treading like this. And so her butt's in the air, she's kind of wiggling her butt, her tail's kind of going like this, her hind legs are going like this, and the whole time she's like, and I'm like, what is this? I've never seen her do this before. I've never seen any cat do this before. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, she seems nervous or something, like, because she would also kind of back up as she was doing it. And I'm like, what is wrong, right? Like, it was really concerning. And so we followed her into their front room, which is like a complete disaster zone. Like, these people are hoarders, okay? Like, there is stuff and boxes everywhere, and there's bookshelves full of Scientology stuff everywhere. And this main room was used during when classes were virtual before school went back in the fall. Because we know the website for her Montessori school, and I found like videos that she posted doing her online classes for the preschoolers, and she has so much crap in that living room from it. It's like a bomb went off in there. There's like puppets and musical instruments, and like, it's just a mess. Now, we've been in that room several times since we started to take care of these cats. And I'm pretty sure we would have noticed this before had it been there all along. But Alex got a glimpse of something on the floor and was like, what? And I was like, what? What is it? He's like, I hope that's a toy that I'm looking at. And then I look, and it's a dead mouse in the middle of the room. And I'm like, oh my God, no, that is totally real. It is an actual freaking dead mouse. And I'm like, now this has nothing to do, this has nothing to do with how Patches was acting. I'm going to get there in a minute. But just had to throw that in, that we had to deal with finding a dead mouse. Now, here's the thing. Prior to these people going away in November, the cats were outdoor cats. We would see them outside. And I do recall one particular evening when Paula was leaving here after a visit, and we saw the cat on the porch with a mouse hanging out of its mouth. And we freaked out. We were like, oh my God. I have also seen dead mice on the porch. So I don't know if this was a mouse that they brought in back when they were still going outside, in which case there's been a dead mouse in there since beginning of November, possibly. But then I was like, well, we would have seen it. Like, it was in the middle of the floor, and we had gone in there several times. So I know we would have seen it. I also feel like it would have been like way more decomposed, not to get too disgusting, but I feel like it would have been more decomposed in that time frame than what it looked to be. My only thought is either A, there's been a mouse in there running around the entire time and they caught it finally, or a mouse somehow got in somewhere, which scares the crap out of me. Like, I don't want any freaking mice in our place. So the other thing that I thought was like, maybe they had brought it in the last time they were outside, and maybe it was somewhere else in the house that we didn't know, and then somehow they've just like maybe been playing with it and they brought it out into the floor. I don't know. I have no idea how the mouse got there. It was really disturbing. Alex was the one that had to pick it up and throw it in the trash. I was freaking out. Yeah, that was disturbing. Just super disturbing. Then we go back to looking at Patches. The whole time she's still doing this chirping thing, this doing the stuff with her butt and her legs. And then Alex is finally like, it looks like she's trying to present herself, if you catch my drift. Like, she's putting her butt up, like, to present herself. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, why, right? And then I look near her butt area and see liquid coming out of it. Like, her butt was wet. And I'm like, oh my God, is she in heat? I'm like, I would have thought since she was outside before that they had her fixed. But I'm like, maybe they didn't get her fixed. Maybe she's in heat. I have no idea. Like, I've never seen a cat in heat, so I have no idea. And I'm like, oh my God. So we come back downstairs to our apartment. Alex Googles it. Signs that a female cat is in heat. It describes Patches to a T. And I'm like, wonderful. Just wonderful. So Alex emails the guy, the owner, whatever. He emails him. It's like, hey, we were just upstairs. We noticed Patches doing XYZ. And we're just wondering, did you have her spayed or not? We get an email back about an hour later saying, no, Patches was supposed to get spayed in December when she turned 7 months old. And that was when we were originally due back from our trip. And then things got extended. So no, she hasn't been spayed. He proceeds to say, here's an article I read. He links to it. Says she should be in heat about 3 to 5 days and then it should pass. He goes, from what I'm reading here, she shouldn't be fixed during being in heat. So we have to wait till it's done. Alex had also then proceeded to ask him, like before, in the previous email, when is your friend coming? Because we were told originally that his friend was supposed to be coming to stay at the house at the beginning of February, and he has yet to be here. And we're going on mid-February now. He says, oh, my friend should be landing in Toronto in about 3 days. But then, of course, he's going to have to do the mandatory 3-day quarantine in a hotel. Because this is the new ruling in Ontario now. Anyone landing in Pearson Airport, they are being forced to take the coronavirus test and then being forced to quarantine in a particular hotel that the government has set aside. And they have to quarantine for at least 3 days to wait for the results. And they have to pay $2,000 for this said hotel. It's crazy. But I kind of agree with it. I kind of think if people were so stupid to travel during a pandemic, they should be dinged for it. So he says he will have to do the mandatory 3-day quarantine in the hotel. Then he should be allowed to come back to the house, in which then he will have to quarantine for an extra 11 days at the house. So then he proceeds, and he does not mention, by the way, he doesn't mention when he himself will be coming back, because he had told us he'd be back by the end of February. Now he didn't mention anything about that at all, just that his friend should be here in about a week, essentially, after, like, because if he's landing in 3 days and then has to quarantine for 3 days, that's like 6 days before he gets here. I'm like, this is fantastic. Then he proceeds to have the audacity to ask us if we would be so kind as to go and get patches spayed for him. And he will reimburse us, just like he did for the last vet visit for Claire. But can we go and get her spayed when she finishes being in heat? I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? I'm like, for one thing, yes, like, we're animal lovers. We feel bad. We can tell that Patches is very uncomfortable right now, and we've read being in heat can be very uncomfortable for a cat. So we feel horrible for her, and we obviously don't want her to go through it again after this heat is over, because we read she could essentially go back into heat in like 2 to 3 weeks. So we're like, we don't want that to happen. So we feel horrible for her, and really and truly, like, we would like to go ahead and do that for him, even though it's really not our responsibility. But the problem here is that she's going to come home with stitches, and someone's going to have to monitor those stitches to make sure that they don't get infected. Really and truly, someone needs to be up there 24/7 with her. Or at least, like, just, you know, like living in the house. Whereas we can only get up there once, maybe twice a day. And because we have Riley, like, Riley takes up a lot of our time because he's got medical issues himself. So Alex is like, replies back and is like, I'm sorry, no. He says, we have a lot on our plate with our own cat. He's gone blind. He's got kidney problems. We've got all these medications we have to do for him. Like, this is a lot on our plate. If your friend is going to be here in a week, then please have him take her to be spayed. Now, we also now realize, though, he probably asked us because even if his friend does show up here in a week, he's going to have to quarantine for another 11 days, meaning he won't be able to take her to get spayed. And then she could potentially go into heat again before he has a chance to take her. So we're kind of like stuck now in this dilemma of like, what do we do? I'm like, well, if his friend is here at the house and basically can't leave the house for 11 days, then he can be with her for those 11 days. So I'm like, I have no problem if he wants us to like drop her off at the vet, have her spayed, and then pick her up when she's ready to come home. And then the guy upstairs, like the friend, supervises the aftercare. But unless there's someone there at the house that can be there all day to supervise the aftercare, we can't do it. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be responsible if something happens with the stitches when we're not there. Like, this is not right. So our game plan is we're going to wait and see if the friend shows up. Hopefully the friend does show up. If they don't show up, that's going to be a big problem. But our whole thing is like, if the friend doesn't show up, then we're emailing the guy and we're going to be like, look it. This is so wrong what you've done to your cats, leaving them like this. They need human interaction more frequently than what we can give them. Your cat needs to be spayed now. And we're going to say, look it, if someone isn't at the house to stay at the house, not sending your son to come every other day, someone to stay at the house by the end of February, we're calling animal services, because we cannot sit back anymore and watch this play out. Like, I feel so heartbroken for these cats. And honestly, if we didn't have Riley, I would be taking them in. Like, we would be taking them but we can't bring them here with Riley because, for one thing, they're outdoor cats, or were outdoor cats until these people left. We haven't been letting them out because we do not believe in allowing cats to be outdoor cats. It's dangerous all around. We do not let Riley go outside at all. Well, his previous owners declawed him as well, so he has no defense if he's outside. So we can't let him outside even if we wanted to. So these two cats are not declawed as well. So they could scratch Riley. They could attack Riley. Riley is blind. Riley is going on 16 years old this July. And this is his territory. So it would be way too much stress to bring two cats in here. We can't do that. We just can't. On top of it, they're female cats. I don't even know how that would go. Now, the older cat is fixed, thank God, but, yeah. So, we went and checked on Patches a second time last night before bed, and at first she seemed to be acting a little more normal, but then she started again with the butt thing, and the tail thing, and the hind legs, and all that. So then, Alex went to bed before me. I was staying up for a bit, watching TV, because I didn't have to work today. Basically, I could hear Patches yowling, which is, again, another thing cats will do when they're in heat. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's vamping up. I feel like she probably started to go into heat yesterday before we got there, and then it's just gradually vamped up. So she was yowling and just these loud meows, and I felt so bad. So bad for her, because I'm like, she's uncomfortable. I know she's uncomfortable. So I just finished checking on her again today, and from the time I walked up there, the entire time she could not stop going, and doing the thing with her hind legs, like the treading thing, her butt in the air, her tail up, and I'm like, I felt so heartbroken and I felt so helpless because there's literally nothing we can do for her. And she literally, from the time I got there till the time I left, I was probably there about a half hour, she didn't stop. She would follow me room to room and then start again. And I could just tell she was so, so uncomfortable. And I just like, I feel so bad. Like, I don't know what to do. And so I was just trying to pet her and trying to like relax her a little bit by petting her and making her know like it's okay, it's all right. I was just talking to her really quietly and petting her, and she was letting me rub her belly. But the whole time I was petting her, she kept either going or she would actually whimper. She was like and I'm just like, this is heartbreaking. Like, what is wrong with these people? For one thing, 7 months old to get spayed is pushing it. Like, yes, I think from what I read and what people have told me, they recommend waiting until 6 months. But the Humane Society will spade cats and neuter cats as young as 2 months old, because they want to make sure that like they don't go into heat. And I'm like, she should have been done months ago. Like, not waiting till December while you're on a trip that could potentially be extended. Like, what is wrong with these people? They don't deserve to have pets. And so I'm just like, a big part of me is just like, I want to rehome them. I just want to find them loving homes. Like, I have a friend who I went to high school with, that, you know, like, I've been talking about this on my Facebook and like getting advice from people and stuff. And my friend from high school is like, I would gladly take one of those cats. I would gladly. And my mom fell in love with Claire when she was here, because my mom was here on Saturday to celebrate her birthday with us. And she's like, you know, she's like, oh, I love Claire. She's such a sweetheart. She's like, I would seriously like consider taking her. And I'm like, I understand. Like, I understand these people wanting to take her. And believe me, I would love nothing more than to just say, here, take these cats and give them a loving home, because these people clearly don't give a crap. But then these are our neighbors. They've been paying us. So they've put us in a weird position, because it's like, if we give their cats away, they're going to be ticked. And on top of that, they're Scientologists, which means they're absolutely batshit crazy. And I've seen Leah Remini's documentary, and these Scientologists, they can get nasty. Like, if you do anything against them, they can get members of their church to like make your life a living hell. So I'm kind of like terrified, because we already have beef with the girlfriend. Like, we never had beef with the guy prior to his girlfriend moving in. It was once the girlfriend moved in that shit started going down. And the main problem is her. And my understanding is it seems like these cats are pretty much hers, because our neighbor only had a dog. And then when she moved in, she brought the cats. So the cats are really hers, and she's planning to be gone for most of the year. So I'm like, what is wrong with you? But I feel like if she came back and we gave away our cats, like, she's going to be like super mad. Super mad. And then that puts us in a weird, like, I don't know, legally, like, if, like, what? I don't know. But anyways, that's my rant, because it's so stressful right now. And my heart just breaks every time we go upstairs. And even more so now to see Patches so uncomfortable. So since she was going to be turning 7 months in December, we figure, okay, she's 9 months old now. So, and when we read online, they can go in heat anywhere from like 5 months to 10 months old. Any time in there, they can go into their first heat. So I just feel awful. But anyways, let's move on. I don't know. What would you guys do if you were us? I don't know what the right thing to do is. Like, in my heart, I'd love to just like find them a good home, but at the same time, like, I don't know about the legalities and like the consequences we could, like, I don't know, like, these people could make our life a living hell or something. I don't know. Anyways, enough of that. Here's Maya. She's got her little pink bow in her hair. This dress fits her really nice. It's a 0 to 3 months, but it's a small 0 to 3, so I figured it wouldn't fit Maisie. It fits Maya really nicely. Maya tends to be able to fit small 0 to 3. And then these pink tights look super cute with it. Hi, Riley. And then here's the white shoes. So my battery is about to die. Mr. Riley is in here meowing at me. Hi, buddy. Hi, honey. I know you're looking at Daddy's chair, but no one's sitting in Daddy's chair. I'm over here. You've got litter. You've got kitty litter on your nose. I'm going to have to clean you up. This is another thing. Riley, because he's blind, sometimes he puts his nose in the litter and it gets stuck all over his face and then we have to clean him. Sometimes he will step into poop or pee that he did previously and then we have to clean his paws. So we've got a lot on our plates right now, which is another reason why I haven't been making that many videos, because we just have a lot going on. Anyways, guys, to end on a nice note, yesterday okay, honey, okay. Yesterday at work, it was Jay's 2nd birthday, so it was nice that I got to celebrate that with them. We had a cake for him. Riley, 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 hey, it's okay, honey. It's okay. It's okay. I'm right here. Yeah, we had cake. I gave him a present. They had a ball pit with a slide set up for him. And so we just had a fun day. I tried to do some activities with him, but he was more interested in playing with his new toys that he got for his birthday, which I understand. So it was a little bit boring in that sense because I was just like kind of sitting there while he played. But it was still really nice to be able to celebrate his birthday with him. And it was really nice. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Go check out Nicole's channel. Link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye.